Hello and welcome back to your channel Physics Safari. My name is Abhishek and today I'm going to continue where I've left yesterday because of some technical issues that happened while I was recording and the camera went off suddenly and I was completely unaware of that. Anyways, I remember I was trying to tell you that the time that what a body is going to take to go up, the same time it will take to come down, and the velocity with which it was thrown, it will come back with the same velocity to the same height. Okay, so let us complete that part which probably got discontinued due to these technical reasons. Okay. So now let us suppose what I was saying. If you throw an object at speed, let's suppose maybe, okay, let me make it a better one. So when you throw an object with speed u, it will reach a certain height before it starts coming down. Let us say that it reaches till a certain height, and at this point of time, of course, the velocity has to be 0 for sure. When it reaches the maximum height, the velocity has to be 0. Now let the height which it is going to travel upward be h, and once it goes up, it will start to come back, and during the decline time, during the time when it comes back, we have to prove that the time what it takes to go up will be the same time while coming down, as well as the velocity with which it was thrown up, it will strike back with the same velocity when it strikes the ground. Alright, okay, chalo. So first of all, let us focus on the time. Now let us figure out the time that it will take to go up. Now we know that v is equals to u plus at for motion in one dimension with the constant acceleration, and over here the acceleration is due to gravity acting downward all the time. Now at the top, velocity is 0. So at top, the velocity is 0. So v equals to u, whatever it is. It's upward, so positive. A is going to be g, which is acting downward, so negative g times t. So the value of t should be simple, u upon g. Now we need to understand whether the time that will take to come down will be same or not. Okay, now so also we need to take the height. We have to figure out the value of height that it will achieve. So we know that h is equals to, in this case, ut. Okay, it's positive u. Acceleration is going to be downward, so minus 1 upon 2 gt square it will take. Also we can use a better equation from here because I just want to relate the height. So we know that v square is equals to what? U square plus 2as. Now v at the top is 0, u upward, so positive, anyways it is square, plus 2 times a is downward, gravity, so negative g times of, let's suppose, h. So h should be how much? H should be given as u square upon 2g. Okay, so it has reached to a height of u square upon 2g in certain time, u upon g. Now when it is coming down during the downfall, so let's say it was at certain height, and the height we already found is how much? U square upon 2g. When it starts coming back, initial velocity is going to be 0. Now we need to figure out how much time would it take to come down. Alright, so if I could prove that equals to that, our job will be done. Now we know that what? H is equals to ut plus half at square. In this case, a is going to be minus g, downward. H is how much? So now this case, from here h is downward, so it's going to be minus of h. U 0, so forget it, this is 0, plus 1 upon 2, a is going to be downward, which is minus z time t square. So this is going to be how much? Negative would get cancelled. We should be having h equals, okay, so maybe we can say h is how much? U square upon 2 times of g minus g upon 2 t square, negative would be cancelled. 2 would get cancelled, and you should be having what? T square is equals to u square upon g square. That means t should be equals to what? U upon g. Negative part should be ignored because time cannot be negative. Now let's have a look at this one, number 2 and number 1. So the time it takes to come down is same as the time it takes to go up. So one part is proved. So actually I was supposed to tell you these things yesterday, but yeah, as I told you, camera went off and yeah, I was teaching. So the time it takes to go up, the time it takes to come down. Now let us prove that the velocity with which it is going to strike the ground would be same as the velocity with which it was thrown up. We can also work on that way. Okay, na? I'm sure you guys have noted it down. Chalo, I think that would be enough. This place should be enough to sort of prove that. All good? Now, v square is equals to what? U square plus 2as. In this case, we have to figure out this velocity v. So v square, u square will be from the top, it is going to be 0, while falling down it is going to be 0, plus 2 times of minus of g. H is how much? U square upon 2g, u square upon 2g. Now, this is going to be how much? Negative, reason being it's coming downward. So, this part should be a negative h. So, v square gives you sort of 2g u square upon 2g would be cancelled. So, v square is equals to u square, that means v is equals to, you can write that way. So, v square is equals to u square. All good? Now, this could be seen as what? V minus u times v plus u, that means v is equals to u or v is equals to minus of u. Of course, v has to be negative of u, the reason being while coming down we are going to choose the downward side as a negative, isn't it? And the upward side should be positive, so v is going to be minus of u. So, you can see that the magnitude is going to be what? Or also you can say that if this is the magnitude, right? So, mod of v is equals to mod of u also you can say, not a big deal. So, the velocity with which it was thrown, it will strike back with the same velocity. This is a very, very important concept and there are going to be a lot of questions when I am going to discuss in the upcoming classes. You should be having these basic ideas. Alright then. So, having done this, let us see some more questions, more practice questions today. So, today we shall focus on the, the problems and we are going to learn some concept with the problems itself. All good? Chaliye ji. Here we have. Chalo, let us start with a simple question. Let's say that exercise, maybe you can have an example. Let's say at time t is equals to 0, at time t is equals to 0, any position is, let's suppose at this object which is at position of maybe 5 meter, okay. Now, it is actually, let's say it's moving with a certain velocity with a certain acceleration. So, let's suppose the velocity is, kitna? Let's suppose 2 meter per second and let's suppose the acceleration may be 1 meter per second square that we can choose, or maybe we can choose a different acceleration. Thoda sa kahani aur acha hoga. Now, we can actually find, we may ask to find the velocity at certain time, find the displacement at the certain time. So, let us say that the first question that I would like to give you, find the velocity at time t is equals to maybe 5 seconds. Let's say the body is moving in the positive x direction. It is moving in the positive x direction. At time t is equals to 0, it was at t is like 5 meter and it is moving with the velocity of 2 meter per second with an acceleration of 1 meter per second square. Now, also I can ask you to find the time and the velocity at x equals to 10 meter. All good? I can ask you to find, or maybe I can, that's going to be easy one, could speed there then, find the time and the position. Ulta karte hain. Let us make it ulta. Find the time and the position when velocity is, maybe you can say 5 meter per second. ऐसा करते हैं. Now let us try to figure it out. क्या करना है क्या इसमें? So first of all, I would say that at time t is equals to 0, the object is at maybe at 5. So let's suppose, चलो भाई, ये आपका हो गया 5. The object is here. It is having some velocity. It's having some initial velocity. कितना है जी? 2 meter per second, and the acceleration is also 1 meter per second square. ठीक है, अच्छी बात है, कोई दिक्कत नहीं. Find the velocity at the time t is equals to 5 seconds. So we know that v is equals to u plus at. U is how much? 2. A is how much? 1. Time is how much? 5. So this is going to be 7 meter per second. चलो आसानी से बन गया, कोई दिक्कत नहीं. Number 1 is quite an easy one to do. Agree all of you? चलो number 2 पे आते हैं. Let us talk about the number 2. Find the time in the position and the position when the velocity is 5. अच्छी बात है. So what we can do is velocity is given. We have to find the time. Initial speed is given. Acceleration is given. We can easily find the value of v. We know what? V is equals to u plus at. Now v being 5, u is 2 plus a and t I have no idea. So it will take how much time? 3 seconds to sort of get the velocity of 5 meter per second. During this time period, it is going to move some value, move to certain value, certain position. So how we can get the value of s? Okay, so part 2 of this, s is what? We can apply what? We have the time, we have the u, we can apply st is equals to ut plus half at square. Also we can apply v square minus u square is equals to 2as, but in that case, probably you can say that also you can do. No, not a problem. So simple one. Chalo, theek hai. U is how much? 2. Time is how much? 3. Because it is going to achieve this speed in time t is equals to 3 seconds. Achhi baat hai. So this is going to be how much? Half a is 1, time is 3 square is 9. So it's going to be how much? 6 plus 4.5. That's going to be 10.5 meter. So it is going to move a distance of 10.5 meter in that time period. It was already at 5. So in that time, after traveling at a distance of displacement of 10.5 meter, it should be at a 15.5 position. That should be 15.5. Yesterday also I have done one such questions, and I'm sure you remember that. Also, if I apply v square is equals to u square plus 2as. V is how much? 5 meter per second, so 25. U was 2, whole square 4, plus 2 into a is 1, s I have no idea. So this is going to be how much? Probably 21 should be equals to 2s. S is going to be how much? 10.5 meter. So using this also, you could have got the value of the displacement, and using this also, you have got the value of displacement. तो कोई बुरी बात नहीं है, not a big deal, है ना जी? चलिए, इस पे एक और क्वेश्चन करते हैं. Let us do one more question, है ना? थोड़ा अच्छा वाला एक करवाता हूँ. देखो, we're gonna do one good question. I'm not saying that these are the bad one. ये भी अच्छा ही है, ठीक है? These are the basic for help, which will help you to sort of get the grip over the subject, where you can go ahead and make more good questions. आराम से हो जाएगा, ठीक है? चलो एक और कराते हैं. Let's say I have the displacement or position vector is given as, let's suppose t square minus 6t plus 4. ऐसा कुछ दे रखा है. Okay, all good. Now this is the position of an object. You have to figure out, find the average speed. Find the average speed for time t is equals to 5 seconds. Number 1. Number 2. Find the average velocity. Find the average velocity for time t is equals to 5 seconds. इतना ही निकालते हैं. That will be sufficient to explain the entire process. So first of all, I know that the displacement is a position is a function of time. So I can easily find the velocity. I can also find the acceleration with the help of concept of differentiation. हाँ जी. So first of all, let's figure out its position at time t is equals to 0. At time t is equals to 0, what should be the value of the position of the object? So that should be how much? It should be 4. चलो इसको ड्रॉ करते हैं. Let us draw this. एक rough sketch. X axis and y axis. Okay, so let's suppose this is your 4 meter and the object is here. At t is equals to 0. Object is here. Now we have no idea in which direction the object is moving. Is it moving towards left or right? What is the acceleration? अपन को कुछ पता नहीं है. We have no clue about that. So not to worry. I know that velocity could be given as what? In this case, dx upon dt. Well, that should be how much? 2t minus 6. So at time t is equals to 0, velocity could be easily found out from here, right? So the velocity at time t is equals to 0 should be how much? 2 times 0 is 0 minus 6. That gives you minus 6 meter per second. Let's say rightward, I'm going to take positive. और लेफ्ट को लेट्स टेक नेगेटिव. So at time t is equals to 0, the body is moving at minus 6 meter per second velocity. It means it is moving towards the left hand side. चलो जी अच्छी बात है. तो we have got something over here. So initial speed is how much? 6 meter per second towards left. चलो लगे हाथ एक्सेलरेशन निकाल लेते हैं. Let us figure out the acceleration. तो भैया इसको डिफरेंशिएट कर दीजिए आप लोग. तो that would give you what? Acceleration should be dv upon dt. कोई बड़ी बात नहीं है. Not a big deal. You guys can do it quite easily, right? तो जी कितना आ जाएगा? Acceleration gonna be how much? Just 2. So 2 meter per second square is the acceleration. तो we have initial velocity, we have the initial acceleration. अब सारा काम हो जाएगा. Now one thing I want to add up over here, भैया when they ask you the value of speed, average speed, you have to be slightly careful. The reason being, we have the acceleration, we have the velocity. Acceleration is a positive quantity, plus 2 meter per second square. It means there is a chance that the body would stop. Because acceleration on this object at time t is equals to 0 is towards right. Idhar hai. A is equals to 2 meter per second square. So definitely it will stop at some point of time. अपन को देखना है what we need to figure out whether it is going to stop before 5 seconds or it is going to stop after 5 seconds. After 5 seconds stop होता है तो कोई दिक्कत नहीं, not a big deal. बट उसके पहले इफ इट स्टॉप्स बिफोर 5 सेकंड्स देन अपने को देखना है कि भैया वो वापस भी आ रहा होगा. सो द डिस्टेंस एंड डिस्प्लेसमेंट वैल्यूज इज गोना बी डिफरेंट. सो दैट इज अ पॉइंट वेयर यू गाइस हैव टू बी केयरफुल. तो दिमाग में फिर से बात डाल लो. इफ द बॉडी इज कमिंग टू रेस्ट आफ्टर दिस गिवन टाइम, नो प्रॉब्लम, कोई दिक्कत नहीं है. बट इफ बॉडी इज कमिंग टू रेस्ट बिफोर दिस टाइम, इट मीन्स यू नीड टू बी केयरफुल. द रीजन बीइंग डिस्प्लेसमेंट एंड द डिस्टेंस आर गोना बी डिफरेंट. तो अपने को चेक करना है कि भैया वेलोसिटी जीरो कब हो रहा है इसका. When the velocity is coming to be zero, and who will help me? Of course, this fellow is going to help me to figure out the time when the velocity is coming to be rest. I mean, like coming to zero. So let's say let v is equals to 0. Why? To find the time. To find time when it is going to be 0. So here we have what? 2t minus 6 is equals to 0. That implies t is equals to 3 seconds. Okay. लो भाई फंस गए आप. क्यों? क्योंकि they are asking you for the 5 seconds and the velocity is coming to be 0 in 3 seconds only. मतलब कि the body will first stop and will start going back. समझ में आ रहा है ना जी? Everyone? So now you have to figure out when the body is going to stop. आपका काम बढ़ गया. You have increased workload. So when the body is going to stop, ये अपने को देखना है. ठीक है? इतना तो पता है 3 seconds में रुक रहा है. Now in these 3 seconds, how much distance would it cover? So don't go here and there. Don't try apply all the stuff like equation of motion apply करने से भी answer आएगा for sure. But हम क्यों करें? Why should I do that? I have this equation. यहाँ से काम चल जाएगा मेरा, right? So first of all, let us find. Now next step, find the position. Find the position where v comes to be 0. कहाँ 0 होगा जी? देख लेते हैं. जीरो कब होगा वो? Find the position where velocity becomes 0. Velocity 0 कब होता है? It is going to be 0 at time t is equal to 3 seconds. So in that time, x should be how much? X for time t is equal to 3 seconds. That should be how much? 9 minus 18 plus 4. कितना हो गया? minus 5. It means towards left. minus 5 इधर की. So let's suppose this is minus 5. The body would come to this place. It will come to rest. It will move for the remaining 2 seconds. Isn't it? Because the total time for which they are asking me the average speed is 5 seconds and the body is coming to rest in 3 seconds itself at a position of 5 meter. Let's suppose इसको ठीक से लिख दे रहे हैं minus 5 meter. After this, for the next two seconds, the body would be going back for the next 2 seconds and we have to figure out what is the position finally the body is reaching in time t is equals to 5 seconds. कोई नहीं, कर लेंगे जी. तो ठीक है ना, simple. Again we're gonna use that. At time t is equals to 5 seconds. काफी गंदा हो रखा है. I'm sure you guys are following it up, देख रहे हो ना कहाँ से जा रहा है. मुझे भी नहीं पता किधर मिल गया, but I'm sure you guys you can just go back and check out the videos. Rewind कर लेना भाई इसको, ठीक है. Okay, anyways, at time t is equals to 5 seconds, the value of x कितना होगा जी? That is gonna be 25 minus 30 plus 4. तो हाँ जी कितना हो गया -1. ओके -1. चलो अपना काम तो हो गया. It means that this distance is 1 unit. It means from here to here it has traveled how much? 4 meter to come here. This is the final position. अब तो सारा काम हो गया. पूछ क्या रहा है? They are asking you the average speed. So the average speed, let me use this space. Average speed average should be how much? Total distance upon total time taken, right? Total distance कितना हो गया जी? From here it went 4 plus 5, 9, 9 plus 4, 13. Total distance is 13. Time is how much? 5. So that's going to be how much? 2.6 meter per second is the average speed. Find the average velocity. Question number 2. Find the average velocity. So number 1 को तो हमने खेला निपटा दिया जी. Number 2, average velocity. Average velocity. Of course, we know that average velocity is all about total displacement by the total time taken. देखो displacement क्या है जी? What is the displacement? It is only from here to here, right? Final position minus initial position. 4 meter from here, 1 meter over here. This is your 1 meter. कहाँ से पता चला जी? From here. देख लो. Have it here. So 4 plus 1, 5. So average velocity should be how much? कितना distance travel करा in 5 seconds? I mean like how much is the displacement in 5 seconds? 4 plus 1, 5. 5 or total time is how much? 5 also. So 1 meter per second is the average velocity. ठीक है ना? So this is how we find the average velocity and average speed. If we have the position as a function of time, then we work on this problem like finding the velocity, finding the acceleration. If it is coming positive and the velocity is in opposite direction, of course it is a case of sort of deceleration, and we have to be careful whether the body is coming to rest before the given time. If it is, you have to be cautious. If it is not, चलो कोई नहीं बिंदास फिर बना दो फिर. Then the body would be moving in straight path before it comes to rest and take a U-turn. वो वाला केस possible नहीं होगा. I'm sure you guys have done with this. You guys are okay with this. कुछ और बातें करते हैं इस पे हम लोग. Let us have. You can pause the video and note down. This is actually a good question. Okay, अच्छा question है. कुछ सीखने को मिलेगा इससे. Now, थोड़ा देखते हैं एवरेज वेलोसिटी पे कुछ राउंड वे ट्रिप घूमने फिरने की बातें पे थोड़ा सा देख लेते हैं. 1 or 2 questions. There are plenty of questions. One day I'm planning to just keep a session जहाँ पे we'll do only the questions, है ना. We'll do more and more practice on one certain particular day. अच्छा ऐसा देखते हैं कुछ. Let's suppose कि situation है. Maybe we can say कि ठीक है भैया एक body है. Let's suppose example. This is the object which traveled half of the distance at speed of let's suppose v1 and the remaining half at speed of v2. ठीक है ना? Half at v1 and remaining half at v2. Find average speed. Find average speed. अच्छी बात है, कोई दिक्कत नहीं. We know that average speed is given as what? Total distance upon the total time, and we will stick with this formula. इस definitions के साथ we gonna stick and we will not go wrong at any point of time. Okay, I don't have any idea about the total distance and all. तो चलो ठीक है ना, मान लेते हैं क्या जा रहा है. This is gonna be how much? X मान लो इसको. Is equal distance, so even this is gonna be x. So the time for which, let's suppose, is t1 for which the body moved at the speed of v1. The time should be how much? X upon v1, and here the time should be how much? X upon v2. कोई मुश्किल नहीं है, no big deal. कर लेंगे हम लोग काम है ना. We're gonna work it out. Total distance would be how much? X plus x, 2 times of x. Total time should be how much? T1 plus T2. So x upon v1 plus x upon v2. Well, that should be how much? 2x. Now we should be having probably v2 plus v1 upon v1 times v2, and x will be taken common. Gaya ji. So the average speed should be twice of v1 v2 upon v1 plus v2. बल्ले बल्ले. Simple जी है ना. Clear all of you? Any doubts in this one? कोई डाउट नहीं है ना. चलो एक और करते हैं. Note it down. Pause the video, note it down. Let's do one more. एक और situation देखते हैं. Let's say a body moved for equal time at speed of v1, and for next equal time, let's suppose t and t, speed of v2. Same question, find the average speed. Find average speed. Well, in this case, distance is not given equal, but the time is equal for both the cases, for both the part. तो जो average speed होगा, v average total distance, so distance covered for time t at speed of v1 should be how much? v1t, और इस केस में कितना हो जाएगा जी? v2t. टोटल टाइम कितना हो गया? t plus t, 2t. So the v average should be how much? v1 plus v2 upon 2. Acha. So why I have taken this two example, just to make sure that bring clarity to you people. Whenever we ask the question like find the average speed, this is what people go with. So ये कर देते हैं. You need to understand this is going to be true only when the times are equal, because average is the quantity which is closest to the value which is existing for the more number of time. So if you have the time same, it means the person has spent equal time at both the velocities. It means the average is going to be, the weighted average is going to be at the main position. So that is why we get v average as v1 plus v2 by 2. ये हमेशा सही नहीं होता. If the distance being equal and time is not being equal, this is what you can understand. And actually, this is a formula that you guys can remember for a round way trip. Even if you go to a place and come back to the same place, you know, at speed of, let's suppose v1 and v2, your average speed is going to be twice of v1 v2 upon v1 plus v2. इसको याद कर लो, कोई मुश्किल बात नहीं है, कोई बुरी बात नहीं है. All good? ठीक है. So let's stop here only. So this I was supposed to cover up yesterday only, but as I told you, things didn't turn out in my favor. Technical things happen. Anyways, so ठीक है. So let's stop it here. Let's stop this part here. In the next part, I'm going to see you with more concepts and the more practice problem. Till then, keep studying and keep learning, guys. I'm going to see you next soon in the next video. And don't forget to like and subscribe, and do share with your friends, for it will help them as well. And yep, that's all for now. Thank you so much. Take care. Bye.